All right, welcome back to the We Is Smart podcast with myself, B-Dub, alongside
Tommy K. Sorry.
I thought Tommy K said we was going to let you do it all.
I
didn't research
I don't
my
know.
name.
Okay, B-Dub, but you start it over, be proper, and
I'm Doc
and
Lib.
maybe we could do this. When you say our name, we
just
appear.
All right, let's try this again.
Me.
Yes.
I put my little shutter down.
I think this is good.
Then when he says my name, I'll open it up.
All right. Please.
What's the topic, B-Dub? You might as well go with this.
All right, welcome back to the We Is Smart podcast with myself,
See, that
B-Dub.
just proved our point. We is smart.
Yeah, apparently. Along with Dr. Lib and Tommy K. I'd just like to point out this was take 2.
No, it's not. No, you leave it. Leave it, man.
No.
Leave it.
Oh, you want me to leave it now?
Leave it all in there.
It's hilarious.
Well, it kind of
I
goes
never
with
see myself laugh.
it kind of goes with the topic.
Mirror. I look in the mirror and I try to be serious.
You look at the mirror and say, that ain't funny.
No, it's not. He doesn't say that. The mirror says it back to him.
What are you looking at?
So hopefully that kind of goes with the topic that we're talking about today, and that's songs that get stuck in your head or earworms. Not earthworms, earworms.
I'm just
I want to make sure I get that out there because we already had a conversation off air about earworms and earthworms, so I just want to make sure we were clear on that. It is earworms.
Teach you at the end how to deworm. Yeah.
No.
To be honest, I never heard the reference with earworms.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, I have a definition actually I can give you.
Well, cool. I want to hear.
So, an earworm, scientifically known as involuntary musical imagery.
Yeah, easy for you to say.
Yeah, I know. Or I could just use it by its simple terms, INMI, is a catchy, memorable piece of music or a catchy phrase that continue. Can I finish, please? Anyway, starting over, an earthworm is a catchy and memorable piece of music or a catchy phrase that continuously plays on a loop in your head.
I didn't know how to loop it.
Yes, it typically lasts around 15 to 30 seconds and repeats automatically without conscious control.
I have cops playing all the time then. It's 30 seconds.
We never have conscious control.
Yeah.
So why does a earthworm happen? Let's get to that before we get into anything else. Well, earthworms are highly... Earworm. Excuse me. See, we got on the earthworm thing. Now I can't get that out of my head. That's my earworm. Earworms are highly common, experienced weekly by over 90% of people, and usually triggered by a few common factors. The hook, which is songs with repetitive, fast tempos and simple melodies, often aligned with your brain's natural electrical rhythms. The dopamine activation, which catchy music releases dopamine, the brain's reward chemical, making your brain want to replay the feeling. And finally, memory and habit, they often occur during quiet, repetitive tasks like brushing your teeth when the brain has idle processing power to fill.
Wait a minute, you sounded kind of smart there. We're not supposed to be sounding that way.
Hey, we is smart, remember that.
We is just terrible with grammar.
Well, that's beside the point, so...
Beat up for the record. I have no clue what you were saying.
You can hear it on the replay or see it on the replay.
Just play it on your unconscious loop.
Yes, exactly. You can just play that part right there.
Get the show out of my head.
But anyways, that is what a earworm is.
That'd be an earworm, wouldn't it?
And earworm?
And.
Did you say and?
And. And earworm.
Yeah, and earworm.
Yeah, never mind.
Too much math.
Good thing you got your hat in the top of the screen because that went right over your head.
I didn't hear what you said. Truthfully, all I heard was an earworm.
Yeah, because you said
maybe you have an earworm in your ear.
Wait a minute. This is an unconscious argument.
I'd say I word it like starting off really good. So, anyways.
That's our favorite word. That's our word of the day. If we was like the Pee Wee show, that would be our word of the day.
Anyways. So moving on to earworm songs. Those songs that get stuck in your head. Do you want to start or would you like me to?
I think I did last week, so you can.
All right. So I have on my list, and some of them have the artist name. Some of them you should be able to figure out.
Before you begin, B-Dub, shouldn't we read off some sort of disclaimer? Because if you read off these song titles, people might be like, "Oh, great! Now that's stuck in my head."
Well, maybe that'll be the point.
You aren't responsible for these songs getting stuck in your head, so don't sue us.
No, we're not responsible for these earworms. Anyways, ones I have on my list: "Call Me Maybe," "Baby Shark."
Oh my gosh, that was on my list. But man, when that was out, that did get stuck in your head.
Yes. "Happy," "Uptown Funk," "Shake It Off," "Can't Stop the Feeling," "Party Rock Anthem," "TikTok." Huh?
I just said that's pretty good.
Yes. Yes. "Rolling in the Deep" and "Firework." Couple with some repetitive hooks. If I can get my mouse to work. "Who Let the Dogs Out," "Mambo No. 5," "The Macarena," "Cotton Eye Joe." This sounds like we DJ.
Cotton Eye Joe is another one, yeah.
Yes. "Blue," "Mbop," "Barbie Girl," "Tub Thumping," "What Is Love," and "I'm Too Sexy." Yes, I am. Thank you very much.
Is it Thumping or Thumper by
Thumping?
Chumbawamba.
Oh,
thank you. I like that song.
Here's songs
I have no doubt.
You have no doubt. Here's songs that everyone knows: "Sweet Caroline," "Don't Stop Believin'," "We Will Rock You," "Living Our Prayer," "Eye of the Tiger," "Come On Eileen," "Jesse's Girl," "You Shook Me All Night Long," "Africa," and "Walk Like an Egyptian." Let's see, I got a few more here. Some viral ones. And I'm going to mess this first one up. "Gangnam Style," "Old Town Road," "The Fox," "What Does the Fox Say?" "Friday," "Dance Monkey," which my daughter loves that song, "As It Was," "Flowers," "APT," and "Espresso." Also have some TV themes and catchy commercial jingles as well. "I'll Be There For You" from Friends, the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air theme, DuckTales theme, the Simpsons theme, the Mission Impossible theme, couple jingles, "Nationwide Is On Your Side," "Ba Ba 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 Ba," or however it goes, by McDonald's. And I think the last one is "Like a Good Neighbor."
Liberty, liberty, liberty.
Yes.
Liberty.
I got two more quick lists if you want me to go through them real fast.
Well, go.
Since I'm doing.
Go.
Okay. Songs. Well, I'm just making sure songs that become crowd sing-alongs: "Bohemian Rhapsody," "Mr. Brightside," "Sweet Home Alabama," YMCA, "Hey Ya," "I Want to Dance with Somebody," "Take on Me," "September," "Love Shack," and "Twist and Shout." Finally, Why Is This Still in My Brain songs. Never Gonna Give You Up. Ice Ice Baby. Achy Breaky Heart. My Sharona. 8675309. Cheerleader. Rude. Blurred Lines. Poker Face. And Single Ladies. So that is my list.
You probably hit about all mine
right after this commercial break.
You probably hit about all mine anyway. But personally, Africa.
Hey.
And so it is interesting that sometimes these are songs that you kind of despise that get stuck in your head, like Baby Shark. Yeah. I bet everybody had to have come to despise that song by the time that whole thing got around.
Oh, yeah.
Is one of them. But Africa is a song I really like, but it gets stuck in my head when we go. And I think we talked about this on an earlier program, but the Fat Bottom Girls was one that used to get stuck in my head all the time. And then the one that you brought up too was Rick Astley, the
Never Gonna Give You Up.
Became famous, Rickrolling people on the internet. That became famous for years and years and years, where they'd put a link to what looked like a really interesting sounding subject or something like that, and you click on it and go to Rick Astley's Never Going to Give You Up, and they call it Rickrolling. So that was pretty interesting. But I'll look down through my list, but like I said, I think you hit a bunch of them, but probably over 50% of the ones that you mentioned I never even heard.
Yeah.
So I think it's a real personal thing on what ones do get stuck in your head. Let's see.
Well, I know a lot of times it can be personal preference as well. But
did you mention Girls Just Want to Have Fun?
No, I didn't.
Final Countdown by Europe?
Nope.
Living on a Prayer by Bon Jovi?
I did, yeah. That one I did.
Okay. And then Take On Me is another one. And those are all in a good way. And Barbie Girl's another, to me, annoying one that does get stuck in your head.
Yes, it is.
And most of the time, those ones that you really don't like to get stuck in your head, it's just the chorus that keeps going over and over and over. Like Africa, I know a lot of the words there. And it doesn't bother me, but I just laugh about it, that it's going over and over in my head. But you said Karma Chameleon. Did you mention that one?
No.
Because when you hear that one, you can't help but just remember Karma, all over and over again. You're like, not that it was a horrible song.
No.
Gary, can you sing that in a Chewbaccan voice?
Wow.
No, that gets stuck in your head.
Yes.
How about Don't Worry, Be Happy? Did you mention that one?
Nope.
And that went around for a long time, and it got stuck in your head. Uptown Girl. I don't know I can't remember if you mentioned that or not, because you went through.
No, I didn't.
Second time you went through pretty fast.
I'm surprised that Uptown Girl is considered. It's catchy, but
well, like I said, I think it's all more of a personal thing anyway.
Personal preference.
Because that don't get stuck in my head. Uptown Girl don't, but it's on the list that I found. Here I Go Again. Maybe is another one. Love Shack. Jesse's Girl. Did you mention that one? Mickey. That's another one. I think you mentioned it though.
Yeah. I mentioned Jesse's Girl. I didn't mention Mickey.
Yeah,
I mentioned
Mickey.
But I remember whenever Basil song. Oh, Mickey, you're so
yeah. And then I always remember the video that went with that, and I'm like, this is really a dumb looking video. Look like robotic cheerleaders. Oh boy! And I always thought it was, when it first came out, I thought it was Ricky instead of Mickey anyway. So I could, hey Ricky.
Is that like my Etch-a-Sketch for Van Halen?
Exactly.
Actually, I think Weird Al came out with Ricky.
I think you're right. He came out with it's hard to tell what he came out with.
So,
but if you go way back, a lot of the Beatles song "Help," one that would get, in a good way, that would get stuck in your mind because it's just a simple, chorus that would go over and over again, and just ain't nothing but a hound dog crying all the time. I mean, those kind of things back in the day. And you mentioned "Sweet Caroline," Neil Diamond.
Neil Diamond.
Super popular when I was younger, a teenager, and would go out to the skating rink, and that was a song that our local skating rink played all the time, 2 or 3 times a night when we was out there.
Yeah.
So. And of course, it's famous in stadiums now because it's it's boom, boom, boom. All the fans have to do that part of it. But yeah,
exactly.
Cool. Mm-hmm.
Tom, you wanted to say something?
The category towards the end that you said, group songs or something like that.
Why is this still in my brain? Or
TV songs and stuff.
The TV ones,
that extra stuff. Yeah.
Well, whatever the category. One song I didn't hear on it that is very, I think, popular. Moni Moni.
Yeah.
Is that
depending on I mean, the Billy Idol version, I think people add to it. We're not going to say what they add on here, but I think that is one that stands out as far as like, when you hear it, you may do the Billy Idol version and add in just because of habit.
Yeah.
And something too, with all the songs, timing. I think timing is a big factor when it comes to the songs getting stuck in your head type thing, because listening to some of these songs, I'm like, oh, I like that one. No, that's a good one. Oh, I don't know that one. Blah blah blah. But the timing right now is none of them are getting stuck in my head kind of thing. I'm not trying to get philosophical or anything like that. I'm the last person to do that. But I just think situation, it all depends on what's going on and why does it get stuck in your head. I'm just what
you're part of the 10% that I said earlier. There's 90% of people that happens to.
So Cops theme song.
Yeah
Bad boy, I think that one. Every time the Friends theme, you mentioned Friends.
Well, you gotta wonder if a lot of times songs pop in your head when something happens around you, like somebody could say something, and it just pops in your head like that. I mean, it's one of those things. Like you just said, the Cops theme, and what all three of us do, we started doing the song.
Yeah. Well, like when CSI, the original version, they played the Who. Who are you? And I would always, when they go to commercial or whatever, they're playing the song, and I'm playing along with it, if you will, singing along with it, et cetera, and then it's like, oh, it's done.
Yep.
I mean, of course, we're older, but we're talking about older TV, Gilligan Island theme, Beverly Hills
Brady Bunch
theme. Us, we'd go around singing those songs when we was kids all the time, and so they would kind of get stuck in your head for a little while after you watched them and so on. But
Three's Company is one I'm thinking of too.
Three's Company too.
One song I'm glad is not stuck in my head is Pee-wee's Big Adventure. I'm sorry.
I don't even know the theme song to that
one. I just had a head rush.
Was it Pee-wee's Big Adventure or Pee-wee's Playhouse?
Ooh.
TMI.
Exactly. So my first question to you guys, and we kind of answered this already.
Wait.
What makes a song a earworm scientifically?
We forgot one that's like huge in the movies, and that's the Star Wars theme, the original, when it first started up, when the credits start rolling and you hear that, anyway, sorry.
Darth Vader's theme.
Yeah.
Gotta crank it up.
Yeah.
Crank it up.
So, but, like I said, I kind of gave the definition, I don't know if you want to call it the scientific definition of a earworm.
You did get that out finally.
Yes, I got it out. I cleaned out my ears. But anyways, but like I said, we kind of talked about this, but just to bring it back, what makes a song an earthworm? Or not earthworm. What makes a song an earworm?
Can we get off the worms?
God.
Good morning, worm, Your Honor.
What makes a song get stuck in your head? Let's just do that.
Early bird catches the worm, Tom. I think one thing is that if you like the song,
yeah,
you really like the song, and it just had, like you talked about in your definition, if it has a certain rhythm and just something that kind of hits with you. And that's the thing, I always go back to Africa because that's just, to me, it just plunks a chord or whatever you want to call it. It resonates with me. So I think that's one thing that can make it go. Go ahead, Tom.
I was just going to say, in a way, I'm reminded of Super Bowl commercials where in the Budweiser frogs that stood out, blah, blah, blah. But now it seems, and this is just my opinion, some of the Super Bowl commercials are like, I don't get it. But then when you go to, if you're talking about it, the ones that are bad stick in your mind because you're able to define it, to describe it.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's one of the things. Being bad that's what I was going to say too. Being bad is one of the things that can cause something to stick in your head.
It's kind of like the Liberty. You saw Doug and Emu all the time, and now you're seeing the guy that Bibberty or whatever, the bad actor, and then they added the lady into the commercials, so they stand out. Whether it's a good advertisement.
What was Flo all them years?
For Progressive.
Yeah, for all years and years. And I mean, you didn't even have to hear the song, really. You just, as soon as you seen her face, you knew what was going on because that was very consistent. So I guess consistency could be something that could help things getting stuck in your head. I'm not a doctor.
And those are more
one on podcasts.
Those are probably more visual earworms than they are for sound purposes. But
I'm not a doctor, but I play one on broadcast. Podcast.
On podcast.
We don't have any blogs on our
podcast. Well, one thing I was thinking about when Gary was giving his answer was the fact that, you're in the car and you're listening to music, and that last song that is playing before you turn off the car and you get out and start walking to work, if you're going to the store or going to work or going in the house, and you have it in your head and you're like, singing along, sometimes it'll happen just depending on what the song is.
Yeah.
And you just start, and that's a way where it'll get stuck in your head until you get something to, relieve it. The Cure song, the Cure song, like they call it, something else that gets in your head that's going to just pretty much take that one away. So,
yeah. I was just thinking about this when you said that, when you're driving down the road, and especially if you don't have control of, say, the radio or whatever is playing, and all of a sudden a song comes on that you just absolutely positively do not like, and it's going to get stuck in your head, and you're like, oh my God, not this song. And then you can't get it out of your head.
We should start doing undertones while we're doing this. Achy breaky heart.
Oh man. One of my favorite hated songs of all time.
Yeah, that's why I said that.
Well, okay.
Nice baby.
What is Big and Rich? What is the Big and Rich song called? I can't. But dun 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 dun.
Yeah.
Save a horse, ride a cowboy.
Yeah.
How, for me, hearing them do that opening, and then it comes to the single piano note played before the song kicks in. From listening to it several times, I feel like I'm a professional at doing the piano key, because it's like, the timing, it's going through your head, maybe you're hearing it on the radio, and then you just, kind of thing, or even like Rush songs, doing, playing the cowbell or whatever, I think of Jerry Maguire movie where he's driving along and he's scanning the radio stations and he starts singing to a song and it's off key, or whatever.
Yeah.
And in their production, then it lands on Tom Petty's Free Fallin', and Tom Cruise, Jerry Maguire, is singing along with it. That, I think, was a great capture of how people can be when they hear, a favorite song or one that's
especially when you add visuals, especially like when you're talking about a movie. Because that just made me think of Bohemian Rhapsody. So how many people, when it was on Wayne's World, when Bohemian Rhapsody came on, everybody started doing this because they were doing that on the movie.
Yeah, let me out. Or they're in the car and he's like, let me
out. So you add visuals. That's another sense that comes in that helps get it stuck in your head.
Okay, so tell me this: which songs are good annoying versus bad annoying?
Well, the ones I like are good annoying, and the ones I don't like are bad annoying.
Which? I mean, give me an example.
Africa, that's one I keep bringing up because I really
is that like good that annoying song. Or is that bad annoying?
That's good annoying because I really like that song.
Okay.
So, go ahead, Tommy. What do you got?
Well, the Tub Thumper by Chamawanga or whatever.
Good. Tub Thumping. Good annoying.
Annoying.
Good annoying.
Annoying.
It's a tigger. Bouncy.
Annoying.
I didn't say doing. I said good annoying.
Yes or no?
I think for me it's good annoying. I enjoy the song, and when you hear it, it like sets a tone for you. Like several of them can either set a good tone for you or perfect timing. You're in the middle of doing something and that certain song comes on. It's like, yeah, that's what I need to hear to help me with this. Like if you're doing a essay I think back to college days, English class.
A long time ago.
Yeah, that's true. But in my English class, we had like 13 papers to write for the semester. And I would always go to a pub called Sean's Back Door, which was where we hung out, et cetera, et cetera. And I would go there because for me, my brain works best when there's like background noise.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. And my dad would always, why you got to go to a bar to write a paper? And I'm like, Dad, I need the background noise. And that's it. And I would get A's and B's on papers. And then the final paper I did at home, and it wasn't out of spite. It was just timing, And so I wrote it and I got a C on it, and I'm not saying that I was trying to prove a point or anything, but I remember that example where background noise is helpful for me in thinking. So
the bars.
Not for every class, Gym class, I got to go do calisthenics at the bar. No, just the point of the mindset, how the mind works, with certain songs or whatever. Timing. I just think timing is so.
I mean, timing is important, and it kind of goes back, and we've talked about this on another episode. How when it comes to songs that are good annoying, one I can think of, which it really hasn't. I mean, I guess it's gotten stuck in my head is "Don't Stop Believing," but it's a good annoying because it brings you in. No matter what my mood is at that particular moment when that song hits. It just affects me differently compared to like if I hear, Baby Shark, then I'm like, oh God.
But did you say it was a good annoying?
Don't Stop Believing is a good annoying. Yeah, Baby Shark is my bad annoying song because anytime that comes on, I have to skip it.
I think Fat Bottom Girls would have to be a bad annoying, and it's not even that I don't like the song. It's just like I didn't want it getting in my head and taking over. I didn't want no Fat Bottom Girls in my head taking over.
Napoleon's 14th. They're coming to take you away. Ha ha.
Yes.
Ho. Man, that could be stuck in your head.
Yes, there's been many songs.
I got that stuck in my head. They're coming to take you away. Ha ha. They're coming to take you away.
Smack those earworms out, Gary.
Well, and this next question we can kind of relate to in many ways is what songs instantly transport you back to a moment in your life?
Oh, I do have some for that. Fly By Night.
Yeah.
By Rush is one, when I hear it, I go back to my senior high school trip. Hanging out with my buddies, we were drinking, and, et cetera, et cetera. It's a memory relation, if you will, from back in those days. That's one for me.
Well, Rush did.
Here's one that I'll say this: Rush on their Signals album, Countdown. It's a song about the first shuttle launching, and I had another course that I did a paper on that. I did several papers on that song. That song, the words, the lyrics are so vivid and pinpointed to the event that I'm like, I remember that exactly. Watching it on TV, the shuttle taking off, et cetera, et cetera. The smoke coming out. They described it in the song, and also in the song, they even have the actual NASA officials doing the countdown. And even the roar of the shuttle taking off, et cetera, et cetera. So that song is so captivating for me, like creating that visual, in your head kind of thing. So I don't know where I'm going with this. Maybe with the eyes of the world we stare. There you go. Final words of the song.
But like you said, I mean, the song, it transports you back to a time in your life. I mean, one that I can always remember.
Beam me up, Ozzy. Transporting.
One that I could always remember, like driving in my car when I was in high school or something, is "Pour Some Sugar on Me."
Def Leppard, yeah.
Because
that was a really good album. That whole album was really, really good.
Because I had it on cassette.
That was Hysteria, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Wasn't that the name of the album?
Yeah. But I heard a lot of it, on radio and stuff, so I'd always be driving in the car when it would come on. So it just reminded me of the windows down and just driving, around town. So
my senior year in high school, I had a AMC Spirit, kind of like the Gremlins, AMC version. I was big into Rush, called it the Red Bar Spirit. So anyway, sorry.
Gary, do you have any that?
I make mine. Really personal. Like when I was in junior and senior high, if I was going with a girl and we broke up and stuff like that, my go-to song was "Don't Expect for Me to Be Your Friend" by Lobo. And I would always go home and listen. I'm being serious. I would go home and listen to that, and I'd be all down and stuff like that. And
would you give a cassette copy to them?
I could, yeah. Back in those days, maybe even a 45.
Yeah, 45. Or 8-track.
Throw it to them.
And then another one I think of that reminds me of my friendship with one of my best friends growing up was he was scared to death of thunderstorms. And I could tell you stories about us being out when there was extra thunderstorms going on, but I won't bore you with that. But speaking of 8-tracks, I actually had a portable boombox style 8-track player.
Yeah.
We would go out.
Putting it on your shoulder.
Yeah, well, we'd be sitting out on the front porch because we had a covered front porch all the way around. And we'd be sitting there and listening to Black Sabbath. Most of the time it was Master Reality. Yeah, and there's a lot of good songs on there, but actually I can't even pick one out. So we'd listen to Sabbath Blaze Sabbath a lot too, and then we liked that song. But anyway, a thunderstorm come up, and he sat out there with me and never got up, never got scared or anything, because we were sitting there listening to Black Sabbath while the thunderstorm's going on. So I just think of that all the time. It even really gives me a little bit of chills right now because that was back in the days when you didn't have to worry about jobs or bills or insurance or anything. So
I want to go back to that, please.
The segue, if I may, Black Sabbath. When I was working at McDonald's in high school, closing, I was doing the dishes, so I'm in the back of the store, if you will, and Black Sabbath, The Wizard was playing.
Oh, I love that song.
As I'm doing the dishes, and then all of a sudden, the power went out in the whole store. And, there was emergency lighting, but there was nothing back in the area where I was. So it was pitch black.
Wow.
And what was stuck in my head? The wizard.
Yeah. Without warning, the wizard.
Yeah.
All right, moving on.
What about you, B-Dub? You got any memories or songs?
I just said it.
He did one.
Pour some sugar on me.
That's right. I guess it wasn't stuck in my head.
He had an earworm in, he couldn't hear.
Yeah, that earworm. Anyways, which songs got ruined by overplay? Can you name a song that's gotten ruined by overplay or being?
Now,
overplayed?
when you say ruined, for ourselves or for public in general?
Both. I mean, either or. I mean, what do you think has got ruined by overplay?
You mentioned Baby Shark.
Yeah.
I think, that could be one. I don't know.
You mentioned...
I don't even know how that song... I can't recall, I should say, how that song goes, and we're not going to go there. We don't have to.
No, we're not. We'll leave that one alone.
Well, you mentioned Achy Breaky Heart. They played that once, and that was overplay.
That was overplay for you.
I'm sure there are, but generally, personally, as Tom was saying, if you like a song, you don't mind it playing over and over and over.
No.
I've put song on loops before where the same songs.
But I mean, there are a lot that, I mean, we had this in one of our episodes where we were talking about songs that the most hated songs, I think it was. We Built a City.
I don't like that song. I don't.
Well, and I like it too, but you
guys were in radio. That makes a huge difference because you would have heard a lot of the songs way more than what I did.
Yeah, I mean, and that I'm not gonna lie, that did get overplayed, and it still gets overplayed now, and maybe that's why people hate it so much. even though it did. I mean, truthfully, the song did well on the charts. It just it's like what we talk about when the record companies and the radio stations kind of work together, and they want you to play these songs, and you have to work, and Tom understands this as well. They want you to play these certain songs at a certain time, and you have to play these, what's in that, what the radio station and the record companies, whatever they work out at, and it's just, so yeah, songs get ruined by overplay all the time.
Of course, that's
a lot of that has to do with ratings and sales in the stores, et cetera, et cetera. And
so that's you guys being on radio. So
hopefully the station or stations or whatever, revolve that rotation decently so that it's not killing the song, as far as overplay.
And then the thing about We Built This City was so different than what everything else they had done before that.
Yeah,
that was way. I mean, when you found out who did that song, you're like, really?
Yes.
So that just made that really interesting.
Yeah, especially when you hear about you hear their older songs, and then you hear that one, you're going, this is completely different than what they've done in the past.
Yeah,
I think of Stairway to Heaven, big song by Led Zeppelin. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe Robert Plant and maybe Jimmy Page hated the song.
Yeah.
Maybe because of the overplay. I don't know. I don't remember. But I do know it's been played over and over again. And there's a lot of stations that would make it the number one song, like on a Memorial Weekend countdown or something, kind of thing.
I never got tired of it, but Smoke on the Water is another one back in the day that they over and over and over, every station would play that song. So back when I was in senior high, whatever.
Cool. Sorry, I just thought about something.
Really? Wow.
Ha 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 ha.
Is that a thunk worm?
No, it's a dub word.
Oh,
dub word.
A dub worm.
Oh, we were talking about bands there. I'm like, that'd be a good topic for how do bands come up with their name?
Oh,
the feature show.
Remember that because how Led Zeppelin came up with their name?
Yes.
That's kind of a famous story now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be interesting to learn some of the other ones we don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
But
Johnny Cash, how did he come up with that name?
Well, first of all,
somebody paid him money to sing a song. He was right there, Johnny on the spot.
Johnny on the spot. Well, first of all, Johnny Cash is a artist. Not saying that Johnny Cash is his original name.
Johnny Cash is in a band?
Why do you want to call our band Boston? We're all from Cleveland.
Yeah, and then that one band got really mad because the lead, one of the guys wanted to name it after him, Pink Floyd.
Yeah, no. That's why he left the band.
Nobody even knew who he was. They kept asking, even in the music.
Speaking of catchy, what's the catchiest chorus ever written? Can you think of one? Don't all answer at once.
I go back to the Moni.
Which one?
I go back to the Moni Moni. Yeah, okay. I think that one, as far as groups type thing, everybody knows it,
no,
kind of thing. Or Who Let the Dogs Out?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody does the who, kind of thing.
How about na 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 na?
Yeah.
Na na na.
Hey Jude, did I ever tell you the story about that song? I had a coworker. Reminds me of a story back in.
You talking about Fuzz?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A coworker was on Navy. What is it called? Relief. R&R. Yeah. No, they were on R&R over in England.
Oh.
He and two buddies, and they were walking through I don't know if it was London, I forget where, but he said they were walking. All of a sudden, this guy walks up, and he says, "Hey, would you guys be interested in being a part of a song, rock and roll song or whatever?" And they're like, "Yeah, okay." So they went with him to this gathering, whether it was in a barn or whatever, I forget.
Mm-hmm.
But he said that everybody there was all doing the na 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 at the end of Hey Jude.
Yeah.
That's how they did that. And so I remember when driving the truck, it came on the radio, and I two-wayed Fuzz, and I said, "Fuzz, your song's playing." And he's like, "Cool."
And you pick me out?
And he was like, "Oh, cool. Well, I'm the high one."
I'm the high one. No, does he mean all? I thought you meant, like something else. I was like, how could you tell if he was high on the song?
But I mean, could you imagine if you were invited to that and then to find out later what it was for? And who knows? They may have said, "Well, we need you all to help sing this chorus for the Beatles song."
Yeah.
How cool would that be? I mean, I think that would be stuck in my head if I was there.
Yeah.
But
what about 867-5309?
867-5309.
I'm not saying it's the catchiest chorus ever written, but I mean, I would say it's probably one of those because it's one of those ones that's still talked about today, and that came out in the 80s.
Well, when I went to Tom Petty concert in Columbus, everybody in the whole audience sang along with every song of Tom Petty. So there has to be a Tom Petty song in there somewhere. Don't back down. There you go.
I'd probably go Free Falling.
Yeah, that's another good one. That's what I said. There's so many of them.
Yeah, that's one of them.
Mm-hmm.
So, but anybody else got anything else for that one before we move on?
There could be a
there's I mean, those are just a piece of what there is out there. I mean, because everybody could have a different song in mind when it comes to catchy chorus. I mean, it just depends on what
at your sketch.
If that's
that's your making things with light.
If that's your faux pas, hey. Anyways, here's one that I think all of us probably might be able to come up with something. What song or songs should be banned from public playlists?
Achy Breaky Heart.
I knew you were going to say that too. I would probably have to put Baby Shark in there, though.
Yeah, Baby Shark too.
You know, great joke. You probably have heard it when someone starts singing along to a song and you say, "Who sings this?" And then they say the actual artist. Let them. Let them.
I think another one I would throw in there is "What Did the Fox Say?" Because if you
those are like novelty songs, really, too. But
those are definitely songs that will get stuck in your head.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be honest. When you think of it, I think of it looking back, and we're talking 20, 30 years. Country music probably would be on my list as far as not wanting to hear it because I wasn't a fan of country, the whole genre. Well, in the business, broadcasting and all that, you start to get a feel for it. And I enjoy country.
Yeah.
There are certain songs, just like in rock and roll, there are certain songs that I don't want to hear that, or whatever. And I get that. But that was a big, the whole genre.
Yeah. I don't like country either, but there are some country, like Johnny Cash, who was talking earlier. I mean, almost who doesn't like Johnny Cash? And Statler Brothers is another country music group that I really
Alabama.
They're kind of crossover.
Yeah, well, I was going to say a lot of country artists do crossover, especially there in the 90s, where a lot of the female country artists were starting to do pop songs as well.
Mm-hmm.
So you kind of so they kind of got involved with that.
It's like Shania Twain. I really like Shania Twain or Sarah Evans.
Yeah.
Is another artist where I'm like, she's really good. She's kind of crossover with country. And I have no problem with that. It's enjoyable.
But different strokes for different folks. I mean, some people like some kinds of music, and I'm not going to, criticize them for kind of music they like. So, man, I don't expect them to criticize me for the kinds of music that I like and don't like. So that's the whole thing about it's art. I mean,
Yeah.
Except when it comes to Achy Breaky Heart, but anyways.
Yeah, that's generally hated.
But anyways,
that was who sang that?
Billy Ray Cyrus.
Billy Ray Cyrus. So, real quick story. I know I've told you guys this before. In Dayton, at a conference, they had a local band that was playing there that was taking, asking people to come up if they wanted to play some music and stuff like that. And they were more country-ish kind of band. And my wife wanted me to go up, and there was drinking involved. And my wife wanted me to go up and ask them to play Achy Breaky Heart. Even though I hated it, I went up and asked and said, "Hey, would you play Achy Breaky Heart?" And the guy looked at me as serious as can be and say, "We don't play Billy Ray Cyrus."
That's funny.
Good.
I understand 100%.
Yes. Well, don't worry. I'm not the one that wants to hear it. I'm the one that gets stuck asking.
Don't blame me.
Yes.
I'm just the messenger.
So moving on, shifting gears a little bit, and I kind of mentioned a few already. Which commercial jingles are secretly genius? Pretty much get caught in your head and you're going along all day with it. I mean, the McDonald's one probably is a big one.
I don't know how far back it goes, but it stood out to me big time.
Okay.
It was Super Bowl commercials. The Budweiser frogs, that was huge.
Yeah.
But was there a song with that?
No, I'm getting to the one that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the Budweiser frogs thing was awesome. That was awesome.
Is it song related you're looking for, B-Dub?
Well, that's kind of.
No, it's commercial jingles. So it doesn't have to be song related.
Well, it was music related, if you will, to musicals, The Wizard of Oz, the FedEx truck.
Yeah.
The lollipop guild. They're like, hey, what's happening to our voices? And then you see the FedEx truck coming down like the house and lands on the witch, and the driver walks out with this huge box and he looks back and sees the witch's feet curl under, just like in the movie, you know, and then he walks over and says, I have a delivery here for the Lollipop Guild. They open it up, it's a big balloon full of helium, and so all three, the Lollipop Guild, you know, and that one, that year that played stood out to me because all the other commercials, I was like, well, that one's dumb. That FedEx one. Hey, that's a good one. Yeah. That stands out. And that's, like I said, that's 20 plus years ago. I don't know. You know?
Well, you were talking about the Budweiser frogs. Another Bud commercial was the What's Up commercial.
What's up?
What's up? You know, that one, that took off.
What was the Real Men of Genius ones?
Oh, yes.
That was a beer too, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And anyway,
I think it might have been a Bud.
I mean, that's not. It's not. Don't have anything to do with the song that played behind it. But those were.
But still, I mean, that's, you know.
I think the thing about anything Barry Manilow wrote, I don't know, a ton of jingles for commercials. So you know, and then the thing is about probably the most famous ones, you don't really think of them right away because they're just ingrained in you and become a part of our culture, like the McDonald's one.
Yeah.
A commercial I just remembered, Ozzy Osbourne. What's a Bieber?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
that was a classic.
So I mean, there's. I mean, if you think about it, especially like, you know, because Tom said around Super Bowl, you know, with the Super Bowl commercial, a lot of them. That's where a lot of them became really catchy because there was so much production put into them, and it just became. Yeah, but finally, what's the most dangerous song to hum at work because it spreads to everyone? Don't all answer at once.
Don't worry, be happy.
Don't worry, be happy. Okay. I mean, if you get this song stuck in your head, and we've already mentioned it, Baby Shark.
That's apparently one of B-Dub's secret favorite songs.
or you know what? You know, having a child when that song came out, I mean, trust me, I've heard it many times.
I'm glad
the one that you know, I've heard her, you know, play on the Alexa is, you know, what does the fox say? And then I have to start singing along with it, doing the different voices that are on it. So that would probably be another one that's.
So imagine if you had a youth pastor in your church named Sean Fox when that song came out.
I wonder where you're trying to go with this.
Tom knows him, and our kids did say that a lot to him.
So, yeah, I mean, again, there's a lot that you could probably throw into that question. And initially, I mean,
anything, to be honest, B-Dub, I guess it's timing of it, you know?
Yeah.
Who knows? I don't know.
Well, I mean, and like I said, at the same time, if it's an annoying song that people aren't going to like, and you start, you know, humming or singing it, I mean, I don't know if it will spread to everyone, but it definitely will.
It's not a bad thing. But I've seen in crowds and stuff like that videos where some people start singing "Amazing Grace" and then the whole crowd will break out and start singing along with it. That's pretty cool.
So, but that is rounding out. Any final thoughts?
Apparently not. We didn't have any to begin with.
Yeah, I guess nothing got stuck in anybody's head during this whole episode.
I don't want to say anything that will get stuck in your guys' head.
That's all right. I'll just listen to Baby Shark and get it out of my head.
There you go.
B-Dub, you got
hair of the dog, man. Hair of the dog.
Yeah.
Hair of the dog.
Messing with.
Yeah. But anyway. Yeah.
Baby Shark. Enjoy, B-Dub.
Enjoy. That's all right. I'll just listen to some parody songs or something and get those out of my head.
There you go.
Which, speaking of parody songs, I think we might go that route on our next episode. I'm deciding between that and TMI songs, so be prepared. I will let you guys go later on. because we still got quite a bit to hit. So
yeah, we do, don't we?
I don't know, but I should, and I keep forgetting to I put this on my rundown to say at the beginning of when we first get on. But since we were having problems when we first got on, trying to start,
that was an excellent run. That was a start to the program.
I mean, don't forget to subscribe and follow us. Ring that bell for notifications on YouTube. Follow us on social media. I'm starting to post more stuff on there, and I'm getting some clips together from our previous episodes to throw up there as well, so people can kind of get a taste of us before they actually. Maybe it'll get stuck in. Maybe those clips will get stuck in their head. They actually want to find out what this podcast, the We Is Smart podcast, is all about. But
alrighty,
we shall see. But until next time, this is B-Dub, along with Tommy K and Dr. Webb for the We Is Smart podcast. See you guys.